Alright, so we're back here at Troutwater Family Campground, an absolutely abysmal place that I stayed last time on the e-bike. Alright, so this big honking battery right here, that's the custom sodium-ion battery I built. It's got 372 watt-hours of capacity, but I found in testing that once it gets to about half charge, it just loses any ability to be useful whatsoever. So we'll go with the sodium-ion battery first. And this should be good for around 8 kilometers before we have to switch to the lithium. A lot of these road sections do not have a street board friendly riding surface. But thankfully, I've got this all-terrain skateboard now, which makes this a heck of a lot easier. It just floats over top of this. So, sections like this, where there's not really a nice paved shoulder to ride on, I don't have to be like sketchily close to traffic now. I can just cruise on the side of the road here and not have to worry and not have an uncomfortable riding experience. We've got about a kilometer to go on the road here before I turn off on a side road and then wind my way down a couple side roads back to the TCT. And then it's pretty much gravel rail trail from here until Lindsay, where my first stopover is. So here's our turn off. And just like that, we're off the main road and we're on to this dirt side road. And man, this thing just cruises over top of it. Trying to do this on my street board was always a rough riding experience, but this all-terrain board, man, oh, I should have upgraded to an all-terrain board sooner. Ah yes, my old nemesis, hills. That is a very steep hill and one that I'm not looking forward to having to haul this board up. So we'll see how high up we get, and then yeah, I'll have to cart this up a little bit. Yeah, we're not even at the steepest part of the hill and it's already a struggle bus trying to get up here. And this is exactly why I practice hiking so much, so that I can actually do these hills without destroying myself. Of course, the road I need to turn on just happens to be right at the top of the hill. Yeah, that's a pretty long and steep hill. Not as easy as it looks, man. I got 35 pounds of gear in the backpack, and this board with all the batteries and stuff in it, this thing's easily 30 pounds as well. But I made it right at the top of the hill, or at least the part I need to turn on. Still a little bit of hill there, but we got to turn and go down that way. And at the next intersection is also where the rail trail crosses through, and then we're off of the road. And hopefully the rail trail should be a little bit more graded. So on the left, and technically on the right, is the rail trail, and this is where we turn off of our little access road here, and this is the trailhead right here. So we're gonna bank left, try not to die on the potholes, over the grass, and we are now on the Trans-Canada Trail. How about that? And as an added bonus, now that we're here in between some trees and stuff, I'm out of the wind, because from here it is just a straight shot down this rail trail for about 20 kilometers, and then we get to our destination. So nothing but cruising, other than to stop and maybe let my feet rest or swap out the battery. We have slowed down to an absolute crawl, which basically means that the sodium-ion battery has kind of given up the ghost for this leg of the journey. We managed to do about 6 kilometers. There's a fair amount of uphill, so it drained a little bit earlier than I was expecting it. And we probably still have, I don't know, somewhere on the order of 18 kilometers to go. But I still got 2 full lithium-ion batteries to get us there, so Sodium ion, not the best chemistry to use in a portable electric vehicle. You can hear my board beeping in the background there. You saw the size of the battery. It's twice the size of a similar capacity lithium ion battery, and then you only get about half of the capacity as a useful load. So in order to have the same amount of usable capacity for an electric rideable like this as a lithium ion battery, you basically need a battery that's 4 times the size. As you can see, we're just barely crawling. I'm at full throttle here and we're on flat ground, so I think I'll just swap over to the lithium battery and call it a day with the sodium ion. The sun has come out to play, which actually bodes well. Hopefully that means that whatever rain may or may not be coming is delayed until later on in the day. Yeah, so we're just here in the middle of the rail trail. It's nice and calm and serene and like not an ounce of wind. It is nice in here. Having this green tunnel to block out all the wind. Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, ow. Stab myself with a rock. We've done a little bit over 6 kilometers. If I scoot you in here to take a look at the inside of my battery case here, you get a closer look at the sodium ion battery. It's 12 32-140 cells wired in series for a 37.4 volt nominal drivetrain. Now, I did have to gimp the top end voltage of this a little bit because fully charged it's 47.4 volts. And through some testing, I realized that the ESC won't accept anything at 46 volts or over. So I gimp it to 45.9 volts when I charge it. You can see my 2 lithium ion batteries here. We're getting a little bit of heat out of that. Right, so we'll disconnect you. And then we will connect you. And just like that, we should be good, I'd guess, for another 8 kilometers before I gotta swap over to the other pack. I'll turn the board on. And just like that, we're good to go again. So I don't know why, but I'm getting like almost no power off of the lithium battery I switched to. It's got like no torque whatsoever. Motors feel okay. I'm wondering if maybe the battery or the ESC is overheating. Oh, I flipped this over. Oh yeah, that is toasty. Oh man, that is super warm. Okay, I think we're getting rate limited by the ESC. So maybe we'll take a kind of a 30-minute break here. Let that cool down. Wow. Yeah, that's scorching to the touch. Oh. I mean, to be fair, it is pushing around a lot of weight. Between me and the backpack, that's got to be close to 300 pounds, which is over its rated weight capacity. Sun ain't quite coming out. It's back behind the clouds, but we're starting to cook a little bit here, so we're slowly but surely making our way towards Lindsay. I'd say we're about 1/5 of the way there. As the crow flies, we are 22 kilometers away from our charging spot. All right, so I'll let this sit for a few minutes and let things vent out. It's still a little toasty in there, but the battery I'm using seems fine. And it's mostly the cells from the sodium ion battery that are a little bit toasty right now. And on the underside, it seems like the ESC case has cooled down. And part of what I think it is this ground is actually surprisingly saturated. So I think that's making the board work a little bit harder than it needs to. Oh boy, hopefully that doesn't chew through my battery faster than expected, because that will suck really bad if I wind up a few kilometers away from where I need to stop and charge, because we're out in the middle of nowhere right now. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, this ground is just really saturated. I'm sinking. Oh, look at how saturated this is. I'm sinking. Oh man, I hope this gets better. So we got through the part that was underneath all this green cover and looks super saturated, and we're out here. This looks marginally better. So let's see. if we can actually get any speed going here. We're struggling. Yeah, it is just super muddy. I hope I can get out from this nasty muck, man, or this is going to be a really slow and painful process today. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is a good idea. This trail is so bad right now. Oh, man. This is what I get for coming out here in early spring when everything's just starting to melt, I guess. We're in full throttle right now, and we are not making much headway. I mean, we're moving, it's not very fast, 3 kilometers an hour. Because if we have to crawl all the way to Lindsay at 3 kilometers an hour, well, 4 kilometers an hour, it will take us 4, 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, about 6 hours to get there. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be riding at this slow ass speed for 6 hours. Oh man, maybe it's the battery. Maybe for whatever reason that battery just does not want to dump out a high amount of amps right now. So I think what we're gonna do is we're almost at this road here. When we cross the road, I'm gonna switch to my 3rd battery, and hopefully that has more pep in its step, because this is ridiculous. I don't know why it's doing this right now. It never ends with Mike in the Woods, man. Always some sort of issues with my electric rideables. All right, after this guy, we run. Oh, it's hard to do with over 70 pounds of stuff. All right. And turn the board on. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yeah, we get much more pep in our step from this battery. So I guess it's the battery. There's something wrong with that battery. It's severely amp limited. So we still got 21 kilometers to go. And this battery I'm hooked up to now, I'm lucky if it's gonna get me 10, So trail conditions have improved marginally. I'm really worried that this trip might be a bust. Okay, we're on some flat open trail now, and it's doing marginally better. We're cruising at 10 kilometers an hour here. We'll see, man. I'm not 100% sure I'm gonna make it to Lindsay at the rate things are going here. Okay, if the trail can stay like this, we're doing good. Yeah, this trail is much better condition. If it could stay like this, I'll be happy. Because, oh man, that last kilometer, that was rough. That was really starting to wear me down. I just hope I don't burn through my battery as much as I suspect it will. Because if I have to hike the board, this is gonna suck really badly. Yeah, had to move out of the way for those guys. Ah. So I've been slowly but surely cruising along here at anywhere from 8 to 11 kilometers an hour. At least if I make it to Lindsay. There's plenty of motels there that I could stay at overnight. That's the plan. Now I picked up a bit of speed. We're at 13, 14 kilometers an hour. If we can maintain the speed, it's only going to take me an hour and a half to get to my stop for the day. Well, we're not doing too great here. I'm almost through my big battery. I got maybe half on the little guy. Maybe I could squeeze a little bit more out of my sodium ion battery, but we're not even halfway to Lindsay. Like, you see the 2 blue pins there? That's where I started, and then on the right is Lindsay, where I'm finishing off. We're less than halfway, and I've already burned through half of my battery. It's not looking too good, if I'm being honest. It's only 12:30, still lots of time left in the day, but I don't want to be left with like 10 kilometers to hike to Lindsay. I don't know, man. It's the curse of Mike. Every time I get out here to do an electric rideable trip, something goes wrong and it just gets in your head, you know? It's just got me wondering, like, at what point does perseverance become stubbornness? I'm trying to make sure that I'm not crossing over that line. If there was somewhere to stop and charge in between here and there, I'd be gung-ho for it, but there's nothing. It's just farmland and gravel rail trail. All right, burning daylight here, so might as well be on our merry way. Forgot to turn my remote off. So all of 20 meters away from where I was just eating that bar there. And yeah, that battery died. I had to switch to the little guy. I'm not getting anywhere close to the amount of range that I was figuring I was going to. I have burned through a good 90% of my available battery, and we are not even halfway. So suffice it to say, I think we're gonna have to bail out of this one, guys. What can I say? I gotta go with my gut instinct. My gut instinct tells me it'd be a smart idea to bail. My big battery, it's fully depleted. This little guy, we're down to the last blinking bar, so I might maybe have a kilometer left on this. I mean, I'm sorry you guys keep having to get put through this, but we'll get it right eventually, I promise. Yeah, we're starting to slow down on this uphill. Oh man. What would you guys do without my crazy Mike in the Woods trip drama to keep you entertained, huh? All right, let me see where the next road is and drop a waypoint for the wifey. Switched over to the sodium ion battery. It's dead as a doorknob. We managed to do 16 kilometers. That's it. Off of all that battery capacity. That was like 720 something watt hours of battery capacity burned up in less than 16 kilometers. Oh man. Oh, you have no idea how frustrating this is. You know how bad I feel having to make my wife come and pick me up hours after she dropped me off? Man, 16 kilometers and that's it. That is bad. Well, another video for the Curse of Mike playlist. Well, we'll call it here, guys. Thanks for sticking around for this really, really stupid adventure. We'll have to sit down and just recalculate everything, I guess. Always got to learn the hard way, I guess. See yous.